Hello, and welcome back to the 13th episode of Joe's Arcade. Today is Conduit Day. We're going to be throwing some of the conduit to all these outlets that we've put in. This is going to be mostly an aesthetic thing, but also, could provide some information about how the room is wired. So not working off of 100% measurements, but you're going to be using a lot of video footage. And obviously the stuff that is down, behind the games wasn't able to get a good look at, so that that'll look a lot cleaner once we actually have everything moved into the room. It'll look more like it does when you're standing in it. So, music of the week this time is Takuya Kuroda's Rising Sun. I'll throw a link to that in the description. Where did it go there? But I'm going to be jamming out to that. Some nice smooth jazz. I might have done this one before already. It's hard to say. So one thing that I was looking at here before starting is for, kind of standard sizes for conduit. It looks like for 3/4 inch, which is what we have. A typical radius for a 90-degree elbow would be 4.5 inches. So I'm going to be operating under that. Not clear to me if that radius is at the center, the center line of the conduit, though I'm assuming it is. I might do a quick search for a diagram on that somewhere. And yeah, at least for this diagram, it looks like it would be... Well, this is interesting. This might not be exactly conduit. But yeah, it would appear that to the center line is one way of measuring for 3/4 inch, a 4.5 to B. So yeah. Yep, we're going to go ahead and go with that. And we will use a 3/4 inch nominal to model this. So I'm going to start off by creating a circle here. Don't know exactly how many sides I want to use. This has got to look good, but 0.375. If we do 24 sides, that might be a little high. Let's try 16 sides and go 0.375. I'd say that's going to look just fine. And if I create an arc, let's create another circle here. But let's do more sides. Let's do 24 sides on this and go 4.5. That even, to my eyes, is not enough sides. So let's do another circle and let's do 64 sides. And we will make this 4.5 inch radius. And I'm just going to trim off 3/4 of this circle. Probably could have done an arc, but this just felt like the way to do it. And we will rotate that thing 90. Let's get it back in view to where I can actually see it. And I'm really coming about this in an organized way, as you can tell. I want to move this something like that, and I want to rotate it 90 degrees and bring it back to where I can see it. I want to grab the center there and put it at the bottom of my radius. I'm going to check my dimension. That is correct. So now I'm going to grab this and use the follow me tool. The tool that probably is the most difficult tool for me to use in SketchUp. I will admit it continues to give me trouble. Tools, follow me. I think I'm going to end up needing... Yep. Oh, Oh, I've got it. There, I've done it. Haha. Okay. Now I want that radius to disappear, or that quarter circle, and I've got my conduit bend. And this I can extrude as need be. So I'm going to group that up, and I'm going to make a copy. And we will take a look now at my video footage. So I have an electrical components video that I figured out where this stuff's going to go. So we'll start here where it starts. Looks like we've got two pieces that come out of this outlet here. So I'll make a couple copies there. Let's grab that, and I'll just kind of move them over to here where I can work with them. Okay. So for starters, I'm going to grab this point. I'm going to center it there. And something was looking a little bit off to me, but it looks okay. Trying to figure out exactly what is going on there. It's like something's not square. Ah, curses, it's not square. How did that happen? Let's see. Yeah, it's just not square. Well, that can be fixed, I hope. If I take that and I run it to the back here. How bizarre. And then I'm going to rotate this thing onto my line there. That's flat at least, but now that's not. We might have to completely start over. That's par for the course, I guess. I don't know. This is pretty shady. Let's just completely start over from scratch here. Circle, 64 sides, and I want to go. I just must have picked the wrong point on the circle. 4.5 inch radius. And I'm going to grab the top, and I'm going to make extra sure that it is the top. I'll come out on red at 4.5. So there's that, and there's my line. Now let's do a 16 side circle at 0.375. Grab the center, put it back to my endpoint. That seems correct so far. And now I'm going to do a follow me tool. I don't know what strange magic I had done. There we go. To get it to work before. But it seems to have worked. Now I'll come out 2 inches. We're going to do that, and lo and behold, it's still not what I want. So that means something's going on with my arc, I think. Yep, that would be it. Must be the problem. So let's try this. Move that out 12 inches. I don't really know what I'm doing here. Let's go C, 0.375. And try again, grabbing the center. This time I'm going to start it on a tangent section. And now when I do my follow me tool, hopefully it will start with a you know, flat face where I want it. Let's try that. And let's try this. Just bring it to the maximum offset. Oh, don't want that. It's like some weird something or other going on there that I also don't quite like. Okay, so the trick may be that I need to have some amount of length, right? Coming through here, off on that tangent. And thinking about it, I think that's okay because I'm never going to have a bend with no tangent length at all. So we'll roll with it because that is nice and straight. So moving this back over to what I was trying to do before. Grab the endpoint there. Bam. And we'll move this to a midpoint here. Just right in the middle. That might have been a little bit premature. So looking at this, I've got a bend up at the top. And then so one of them goes straight up into the ceiling, and I'm not going to worry about it past that. The other one goes straight over here and then turns behind the fridge somewhere. So not as simple as it may seem. Is there another line back there? Coming up to that outlet? That's the question. There is. So, what do I have to do here? We're almost starting from scratch again. I'm going to take this and rotate it 90 degrees. Midpoint. Midpoint. That's correct, at least. So one thing is right. Let's make a copy here. And let's make a copy here as well. Let's bring this over 1 inch. Okay. Now this piece, it's gonna take a little bit of practice, I think, to get in a rhythm of how I want to do this, but I'm gonna move that up 5 inches. I'm gonna copy this down 5 inches. Delete that because this is just a straight section. And I'm going to bring it up to the ceiling. Now, how does this really interface so there's not a clash there? Looks like it cuts through. And there actually is no chamfered edge strip at this one location. But if there was, and it's going to be, we're not going to go into the detail of modeling that hole in the tiling there. If there was, is this all one item? Sure is. Now it's 2. Copy that and go 6 inches down. Get this, and I will extrude it back to here. And we'll bring it at a 1/2 inch back or something like that. And with this side, I'm going to just delete everything over there. And then I will go up to here. I'm going to move that 1.75 inches, half an inch plus the conduit on each side, and up 6 inches. Bam. Looking good. We are going to make this an aluminum texture. And now for this next one, it seems like it runs pretty much right along the top until it bends down. And then it bends down with a little bit of room left for this next box here. So, to sidestep having to actually make a decision here, immediately I'm going to copy this guy to there. No, and that's not where I want it. I want it right in the middle. So let's get at that. Middle there. And then I want this at a midpoint. And I'm going to move it back 12 inches so I can see what I'm doing. It looks like 1.7109 inches is my max offset. So I'm going to put it 0.7109. So I've got an even inch there. And I'm going to make this into basically my new template, I think. That I'm going to pull in 0.7463. And then I will move it an inch up. So I've got an inch on either side of tangent section here. And now I can bring this in to there. And I'm all right with using the inch tangent section. Like I said, this is my new starting section. So I'll just take that. And this I will just pull down. I'm going to come up with a uniform length for this. How about 52 inches? Let's go 52 inches down. And we will make that aluminum. Anodized aluminum might be more accurate. But the aluminum is what I use for the junction boxes. I think I'll stick with it. Yeah, we'll stick with that. Okay, so now we can kind of finally come up with what we're doing here. And this is going to be sections. We'll move that, we'll rotate it 90 degrees. And we won't, because we're going to use our nice new template section. Rotate that 90 degrees. How about that? We'll move this thing to be in line with this piece. There we go. And then we will move it an inch for clearance. And then I'm going to move it up to the top. I'm going to have to come up with a uniform distance for this as well. 0.5 looks fine. So we'll bring this down 52 inches. And there's going to be somewhat of a clash there. I'm actually not too worried about that graphically. What does it look like in the real world, though? That's always the question. It kind of bows out a little bit. Rather than modeling that bow, we are just going to run with it. It's such a minor clash, and graphically, you can't really notice anything. Which is what this is supposed to be at this point, is just some extra graphical details. I'm going to turn on my hidden geometry view. So I can grab all of these. Because then I can extend this up to meet. Voila. And I will pull this out to meet that. Let's hide this. And there we go. All right, so for our next one, let's see what we've got. Looks like just a straight run between those two. So this is already nice and lined up on the right, at the right location. We'll go ahead and copy this face from here to there. And this is my template, so before I get too far, let's not damage it. Delete all that. And pow. Well, that sure didn't work. So let's undo. Delete. Let's just get the face over here. Maybe that's what we needed. Nope. That's certainly not it either. Might be out of luck with this thing, which is intriguing. Let's do this, and then let's do a hidden geometry view. See what happens if we delete. Not good things, that's for sure. All right, so looks like the easiest thing to do here is just going to be to create a new circle. So let's go from here to a midpoint and create a circle 0.375, and we'll extrude that. Yeah. Best to use the easier solution. So now our next one up here runs straight, and then it turns the corner to the next box. So I can obviously use my same bend for that. Just needs to be rotated a little bit. So for starters, it's got to be rotated in this plane. 90 degrees. And 90 degrees. There we go. And now for the height, we need to get that thing up to here. And last but not least, this has got to be all the way to the corner, like that. Now I can jump in and I can just extend these to there and there. And there is the corner. And I still have my template. Okay, another straight run here. I'm going to learn from the past time, and I'm just going to draw it. It was pretty painless to do. 0.375. And we'll extrude that all the way to here. Colorize it. And our next one is another straight. And then we've got a turn down. So I will copy my turn template. I'm going to move it even because I'm going to be working in this area more now. And we'll make a copy. 6 inches. I'll scale it at -1 rather than rotating it. I'm going to copy this guy from this midpoint to this midpoint. Easy enough to just push that back. And now I can take this, move it to there, and move it down 1 inch for my bend. Drop that down 52 inches. Colorize it. All right. On to the next one. We've got a gap there. We have a piece here that I'm going to say 2/3 of the way between these two comes vertically straight up. I know that's just like a completely arbitrary guess, but we're going to go with it. 49 inches. So you can see me struggling for a calculator there. 49 divided by 3 would be about 16 inches. So we'll go with 32 inches over. I want to do it off this center line. 32 inches. And there is going to be the origin point of a 0.375 inch circle. That will bring down 52 inches. We'll copy this thing down. Probably do not have an unbeveled edge on this. So that will be a quick challenge here. Create ourselves a little square. And we'll extend that thing. I think I actually don't need that. The way I'm going to do this is I will copy this to the, oh, don't do that, square. Copy that to there, go 0.375, then I'll move that a further 0.5 and copy it 1.75. I'll explode this, and I will intersect faces with model. Then I can come in and delete these faces. There's a whole lot of junk in there. Delete that and that. I can delete these. I'll do a color picker on that and retexture that side. Delete those. Okay. Those are still groups. This is exploded line work, so I'll group those back up. And move on to the next one here. So this is just a bend down. copy this thing, and I'll scale 1, -1. Move it to the midpoint. Want to get that right to there and to there. Move that down. And we will texture it with a wood texture. No, we won't. We'll give it aluminum, just like everything else. And move on to the next one. Looks like a straight line, and I wonder if we have another straight line. We sure do. So 2 straight lines in a row. This is another one where I can just copy these. Let's do it ×2 on that. So I've created another one there off in random space. Oh, hey, what have I done? All right, let's copy this one then to here. Extend that. I think this next one is just another straight line as well, is why I've created an extra, but it's on a level higher. So let's move it up an inch. There. And there. That looks pretty good. Nothing really on this wall, except it looks like a straight piece that's probably going to corner. So, let's go ahead and get that piece in here. Gonna pretty much use the same method as before with the corner. Make our copy there. Take this, move it over there just for posterity. I want to grab this guy, rotate it 90 degrees. And where are we putting that? There, I think. Yep, that looks correct. And then moving it up to my midpoint as usual. And then over. And extrude, extrude. There's our corner and texture. I'm going to back up just to make sure that I've got that correct. And the good thing I did, we've also got one coming down. Which I can copy this one. Place it right on like that. Then move it down an inch. And we'll extrude this piece. I think this is the home stretch here. This one's got nothing coming out of it. So that must be a just a vertical section that comes straight down. So let's bring that out to our midpoint here. 0.375. I'll just bring that down 52. Okay. This one, it's on the top. Interesting. But that'll also be our last one. So this one, what was that doing? It was a vertical or an immediate bend from the middle and a bar from the top. So I'm going to rotate this one, my base, 180, and I'm not going to need it around anymore. So I can delete that one too. And let's move this thing. Okay. Pull that down. And create one more circle here, and I think I'll be good to go. An inch. And let's set this up to be right on the circle. Like so. Extrude that to here. And I'd say we've got it. So there we go. I think that takes care of, at least for this room, the conduit. Let me see if we've got anything on this outside light switch too. I know I've got a video somewhere. Or some pictures, hopefully, that will reveal that. Maybe. Looks like we've got one that comes up vertically. And I've got my original video footage as well. That would back that up. Probably do a future episode where I do the remaining details out on this back area here, because there certainly are some. But for now, I will go ahead and create this one piece of conduit so I don't have to come back to that. And remember all these things that I was up to over here. Okay. So that is created as well. So there we go. I'd say that's a wrap to the Conduit episode. SketchUp Dave, or his name's not actually Dave, his name is Chris. SketchUp Chris there, looking mighty pleased, mighty at home in this room. As usual, thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time on Joe's Arcade.